My name is Donna Ottematt, and I am in the elementary literacy group. We have different program areas in our department, which you'll find out about. And my research is about, well, it's about elementary literacy, but it's also focusing on diversity in children's literature. And I coordinate the program for the graduate certificate in children's and young adult literature. I am teaching a course in the fall, but the course has already been full for a while, so sorry. Too bad. I know. Try again. The courses are offered regularly. So nice to meet all of you. I have to go. I'm sorry.
Okay, this is the hot spot, I guess. Hi, everybody. I'm Mary Beth Hines. Welcome to our program, and we're all really excited to see you here. And we hope that you have a wonderful experience during your program here. My area is English education, which means that I train people to be secondary English teachers in U.S. schools. I'm also teaching the L500 online and L600 online. Is anybody in? Oh, turn it anyway. Okay.
Well, we will have, we have our online EDD students. How many are participating?
See you next week.
So 4 of those students are.
Awesome. Yes, you get extra credit.
And Leslie just typed hi.
Yeah. So my research is at an alternative school, and I'm looking at the ways in which the students who are primarily low income, white, and reading below grade level, how they negotiate school, and looking at issues of engagement and resistance, and what's missing from our contemporary theorizing about marginalized students. If any of you are interested in hanging out on that project, we have plenty of room for you. So just email me later and we can talk about it. So thank you for listening.
I'm Karen Boland. I also teach in the literacy strand of the department. I teach courses at the undergraduate level in early childhood literacy and in early primary literacy. And at the graduate level, I teach in the spring I'll be teaching a PhD discourse analysis course in the inquiry group. So you'll have some inquiry courses that are required of you, and you have some choices. There are particular strands in there, and one is the discourse analysis strand. So the course that I teach is the second course. So you have to have first the introduction to discourse analysis, and then there's the mediated discourse analysis, among other kinds of discourse analysis. So that's particularly useful for language, the study of language, but it's also very interested in the study of media or video analysis in particular. We do some really exciting things to do that. I think that is most of my teaching at this point that I know about. And in my research, I focus on early childhood literacy and play in particular. I'm very interested in children's video play on iPads, in their filmmaking, in their filming, in their use of virtual worlds. And I've been recently doing some analyses of apps to see what are we really teaching children with these apps that they are pretty fascinating. So that's sort of an overview of what I do.
My name is Sharon Daly, and the master's students will be happy to know I'm not leading this portion, so it won't go crazy. It went a little sideways, sorry, we got a little off topic.
They'll tell me later.
Yes, they will, or you'll see it, whichever. So I teach mostly undergraduate classes, working with pre-service teachers in their literacy methods courses, Karen and I work closely together with those students. I get to take them out to schools though, and so that's a lot of fun for me. And it gets fun for them after they realize they have to be awake and alert at 8 a.m. So after that, they're fine. So this semester, I think I'm teaching the master's capstone course, which the master's students will take at the end of their program. Looking forward to that. It's going to be an exciting proposition for me. As far as my research goes, right now I'm working with some colleagues at other universities looking at pre-service teachers' use of digital stories and how that works into their identity as beginning teachers.
Well, I've met you before. I'm James D'Amico, the department chair, and my area is content literacy or disciplinary literacy. Currently, I'm not teaching courses in the department. I'm teaching courses in the building just next to us, in the Inspire Living Learning Center, a teacher seminar there. There's a possibility I'll teach a course next summer. We'll see how that goes at this point. In terms of my research, I've been focusing on 2 projects. I'm really interested in the consequences of literacy practices, what work in the world does literacy do. Those projects are situated in 2 complex topics. One is climate change, in terms of how people from different belief systems about climate change come together and evaluate sources about climate change, what happens when we do that. A dialogue across different perspectives is the theme there. The other project is trying to understand how groups of people in Argentina commemorated the events of some traumatic events in human history. For them, it was the military coup in 1976 and what happened thereafter. So I'm really interested in understanding how people commemorate those events, specifically related to the use of language and literacy in that space. So those are the 2 projects I'm working on.
Hey, how are y'all doing? Good, good. So my name is Stephanie Power Carter. Students call me Dr. PC. I work with Mary Beth in the English education area. I was in another life, a high school English teacher. I was trying to take notes to think of what I needed to say to you. My work is around historically underrepresented youth, but I look at their potential and their resilience versus other things. I am really engaged in community literacy, so a lot of my work and research is community-based. So I'm also not just interested in writing about it, but actually engaging the community in the work that I do. I'm also interested in critical discourse analysis, research on whiteness, and I teach a whiteness course in the summer, an intensive. You can ask people about it, it's pretty intensive, but it's a short session, kind of quick class, but it's pretty deep. So I teach that every summer for about 4 weekends, and then you're done. But yeah, so I'm around, look forward to meeting you and getting to know you.
Is there a possibility it's going to be offered for the online students?
Yes, it is a possibility that it will also be offered for the online students this year. Sorry,
Summer.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Hi, I'm Carmen Medina, and I'll be seeing some of you on Monday. I'm teaching L600, so you should have access to Canva, and you can look at your homework for Monday.
Not ready.
It's fun homework. My work is on literacy and biliteracy education from a critical perspective. I'm very interested on creative and imaginative pedagogies. I do quite a bit of work with Karen on that. I have 2 projects that I'm very passionate about right now. One is I'm looking back at my creative work with children, particularly immigrant bilingual children, and looking at their translanguaging practices when they engage in creative pedagogies. And then on the second project that I'm very passionate about is in Puerto Rico, where I'm from. And I'm studying right now 30 years of youth activism through theater and performance practices, and the impact of those practices in their personal and social transformation.
Hi, those of you online as well. My name is Farida Pawan. My area is EFL, ESL, teacher education. And my research areas currently are, I'm looking at how ESL and EFL teachers sustain and maintain their professional expertise. And so my research sites currently are in China and Turkey, and there's a new site that's developing right now at this point in time in a Spanish-speaking country. And so that's my area of research, looking at the informal and formal ways that ESL and EFL teachers sustain their expertise. The other area of research is on hybrid and online pedagogy. I'm looking here at Ai-Chu Ding, Ding Ai-Chu. And the reason I'm mentioning her is that we just had our book published, just came out in the mailbox, on the pedagogy and practice of online language teachers. Do you remember the full title? Ai-Chu and a few others, yes, in that book. And so I also run the EFL, ESL Professional Development Certificate. That's an online certificate that you can take in tandem with your degrees through careful planning. That can be made to happen. The other thing that I will do in the fall of 2017 is that I'll teach a doctoral seminar, both online, on-site, and hybrid, on the research of the international research on the international professional development of ESL and EFL teachers. That will be in the fall of 2017. And then finally, I'm on sabbatical, which means this is the only day that you will see me this semester, but I'm here to meet some few wonderful new faces and to be equally excited with this new venture that we all are undertaking together. So thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Serafin Coronel Molina. I have the longest name here. And, yes, my research interest is basically macro sociolinguistics and micro sociolinguistics. With the macro sociolinguistics, I focus on language policy and planning, language revitalization around the world. And also, within micro sociolinguistics, I focus on translingualism, translingual literacies, and I'm also working on a project on language and language policy in different parts of the world. So, and also another book, I have another project about the research paradigms. So this is still in the initial stage. So, and I will be teaching language policy and planning and language revitalization, the L750 class, on-site and online. And I also teach the methodology courses here, ethnography and other methodologies, series of methodologies. So what else? I have projects going on, several projects around the world. I'm organizing at least for next year 3 conferences, co-organizing, I would say, and this year another 2. So we'll see what happens in that regard. And, I'm also putting together, creating the International Journal of Literacy, Culture, and Language Education. That would be the journal in replacement of the working papers of in literacy, culture, and language education. So it will become a journal. So and so, etc. and etc. I don't want to bore you with my projects. And welcome everybody. That's all.
So perhaps you may have a question that you can ask to the group first. Does anyone have any immediate questions that you want to ask? Any online people?
We heard.
Just ask. We have about another 10 minutes. The professors have generously donated their time, so if you feel more comfortable, maybe you might want to ask a question directly to that
I
person?
just want to add one thing. We do have several faculty members who couldn't be here. Two people are sick. Dr. Nikos is sick. And doctor's order, she wanted to come, but she had to stay home. Dr. Smith, I know several of you have. Dr. Smith is your advisor. He couldn't be here. He had to pick up his sister at the airport last minute. And we have two faculty members who are on sabbatical this year, Dr. Lewison and Dr. Samuelson. So if you have Dr. Lewison and Dr.
They're not
Pawan,
here. Yeah,
but
they're
I'm
not
talking
here.
the ones who aren't
Yeah.
here. So if you have them and you have questions about connecting with them, most of you do not have those faculty members as your advisor if they're on sabbatical, but if you do, we've been making arrangements to make sure that you're supported this year. And I do want to acknowledge Dr. Pawan for making it here today. Although she is on sabbatical, she really wanted to meet you. And several folks are interested in the program that you lead. So if you have some burning questions about that, now's your chance to ask Dr. Pawan those questions for the few minutes that we have. And then after she departs, we'll do our best in the office to handle all your questions after that until she returns. But this is to ask the expert is your chance to do that if you're interested in that program.
Shall we mingle?
Nick has a question.
Okay, I applied for the ENL, EFL online certification along with the master's degree, and I've just been kind of, I guess it hasn't been reviewed, but I was just wondering how many, does that last all 4 semesters? Or is it like a semester, like you take a class online per semester along with your master's degree?
It's a very flexible program.
Mhm.
The most important thing is, now we've talked before, right,
Yeah.
in the past, so you're just waiting for admission
Yeah.
from someone, right?
Yeah.
Upstairs. Yeah, I'm sure that's clear, I think you're just not hearing it at this
Yeah.
point in time. I think because I've seen your emails, but it's a very flexible program. You
Okay.
take it, when the classes are available,
Mhm.
and the most important thing is to be admitted into the program. And if you've been already admitted into our LCLE, either master's or doctoral program, the admission fees are waived.
Okay. Excellent. So it's about a class per semester?
It depends on you,
Okay.
right? Whatever classes are available, if you want to take one or more, that's up to you, but they're all aligned to the
Okay.
master's program and to the doctoral program. So that's a really good question because that's important information.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll just say one more thing. Dr. Hines mentioned or invited you to come talk to her about her projects and possibly volunteer or participate in those projects. I speak for all the faculty that we're all open to that too. So if you heard anything that we're doing and there's something that resonates with you or you just want to learn more about, we expect emails from you to set up conversations, time to have those conversations. We really view you as intellectual colleagues as you're on your journeys in the doctoral program. So don't feel hesitant or shy or bashful about doing that. I'd like to talk to you about what you're doing because I'm interested in that too. We like getting those emails.
Can professors share what kind of research projects that you would invite the students to join you? Because I think a lot of people here will really want to have that kind of research experience with faculty members in the department.
Well, I think we all touched on them in different ways. I think, yeah, I mean, it's,
Yeah, and I think for me, I have several projects that are not necessarily research-based, but they kind of are moving to that. Like I have a couple of you are working on a book project with the whiteness class. I have just community African-American reading, so tons of other things that I do. So, yeah, I think just talking to us individually probably is the best way.
Like sometimes we have larger projects and then we have smaller projects.
Yeah.
So last semester, I had students who wanted to do an internship on critical literacy with me, and I had a small project that I always wanted to do and get an article out. And I said, oh, this is a great opportunity for me to really start doing this work, and we did it, and we're working on the article. So just kind of like get familiar. And we do, if you're in L600, we do a little bit of work getting familiar with different faculty work. And, you know, as you hear different faculty interests, if you have an idea or if you have, you know, if you're curious, just make an appointment and approach that person, because, you know, we do have larger projects and smaller projects, so we can always find ways to integrate people.
And that includes all our online EDD students to be involved in those projects too.
Sure.
With the technology affordances we have, we can definitely do that, so.
I've always found that, you know, in classes together, we learn about each other's interests and understand each other's insights and abilities, and that's the best way to kind of make that connection.
Yeah, if you're interested in organizing conferences, I will be glad. It's a lot of work though.
So I sometimes have a project where I'll have students come together and do a student-led project from beginning to end, sort of a mini project. And the last one that we did with teacher education classes. So some of the people who were teaching a teacher education class did the project with their students. We collected a few weeks of data, and then we analyzed that data and wrote from it. So it's something where everyone gets involved with, kind of usually a semester-long kind of activity. And works out okay, right?
Yes, it works out okay. But definitely be active and seek it out. Ask questions to your professors, because they may not know what you're interested in, and they're a wealth of opportunity here, so. Any other questions? I feel like I saw a hand over there, but.
Okay, I have a question. So what does it mean to belong to one of your research teams? What would be our role?
It really could depend on the project, on what your goals are, what your time commitments are. We do have one of our courses called L650. That's called an internship in literacy, language, and culture, or literacy, culture, and language ed. So with that particular internship, you figure out what you want to do, and that establishes a course. So that really clarifies. It might be working on a literature review. It might be collecting data in a setting. It might be a combination of those kinds of things. So the online EDD students, you're going to have a different L650 experience. You're going to take that as a course together. But here on campus, that is designed differently. So that's one way it is kind of built into your coursework.
Okay, thank you.
And I think that's stuff that you can negotiate and work out with whoever, you know, who you're doing that with, so. A lot of flexibility typically.
And I think, again, you know, we're interested too in learning about you. As we learn more about you, it becomes, you know, a better engagement between us and you in terms of the types of work that we do and the types of work that you do. Hopefully, one of the best collaborations will be projects whereby it benefits both of us. But we have to learn about each other. And I think that comes through a lot of interactions and class coursework.
In summer, most of us are working with faculty outside of this department too. So you could be involved in a research project. I'm working with people in the history department right now. I know Dr. Wolves work with learning sciences, work with global studies, Dr. Regina and I, and surfing, so et cetera. So those kind of teams have potentially graduate students in those other disciplines, as well as faculty in those other areas, and as well as students. We actually have a couple of undergraduates in our project too. So, you know, partly that's the wave of the future in terms of being able to work across perspectives and disciplines to engage complex problems. So I think that's a good experience to look for.
And I think too, start with your passion, and try to find that in one of us. So, you know, if you're, you know, look at our websites, most of you've already done this, probably, and have a conversation with that faculty member, but, you know, make sure that it's something that you're passionate about. Like, don't just go, oh, she seems nice. gonna work on her project. Be intentional, you know, if you can be. I mean, that's okay if you want to do that, but I don't know in the long run. But, you know, you kind of know, you're in grad school, you kind of know what you're interested in. And I think start with what you're interested in and then try to find somebody who's interested in what you're interested in.
I have a question. Will the international students have the chance to involve in any projects?
Definitely.
And also the master's students get involved or not?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So this is for master's, doctoral students. Now, the courses you take as a doctoral student lend themselves more directly to be involved in research projects like the 650 experience I was talking about. But the opportunities are still there for master's students, absolutely.
If you're a student, yep.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for giving
Oh,
us your
thank you.
time and sharing.
We're excited you're here.
So for the next portion of our